It's Monday, August 4th, 2008, and what I really don't understand is the Navy, because the Navy makes this thing called the DDG-1000, which is their stealth destroyer. The destroyer costs $5 billion to make and cannot defend itself from planes, which you think if you spent $5 billion on something that you've thought of everything you could possibly put on it. I'm guessing it's this inability to defend itself from basic attacks that made the Navy go, hey, maybe we shouldn't make this ship anymore, it doesn't really make sense. It just seems like one of those ideas that wasn't fully thought through, like when they took the Chevy Nova and decided to sell it in Mexico and didn't realize that the name translated into the Chevy No-Go, which obviously is a terrible name for a car. It's like naming the Ford Pinto the Ford Fireball on accident. When we move on to Olympic news, we see the IOC is getting in a lot of trouble because, hey, they promised press freedoms at the Beijing Olympics and there's plenty of sites that are still blocked. Chinese officials have said over and over that they were not going to censor anything, but it looks kind of like censorship because it is censorship. Now, I live in the United States of America. Saying one thing and then doing another is commonplace here, but it looks really, really bad when the whole world is watching. For all you iPhone dorks such as myself, there is an application out there called NetShare that allows you to tether your iPhone. This means turn your iPhone into a wireless modem, meaning that you can be geeking on the internet at any possible time. Also, if you need help with setting it up, there's a link over here in the description. Check it out. If we jump a little further into tech news, we find that Time Warner is selling pieces and parts of AOL. I know, you're like, what? AOL isn't successful anymore? How is that even possible? I mean, they offered 1,099 hours free in a month that doesn't even have 1,099 hours. In news that really doesn't make sense to me, female German police officers now have bra and panties that are bulletproof, which doesn't make sense because every time I shoot at the police, I aim for the head. For your viewing pleasure, we have a picture of the day, probably the best picture I've seen ever. Here it is. Why does Kim Kardashian look like she hates that ice cream cone, or, in fact, loves that ice cream cone so much she is going to destroy it with her mouth? Which plenty of people probably wish that Kim Kardashian would destroy them with her mouth, even though she's kind of skeezy. Guys, your Monday question of the day has nothing to do with any of the stories, but it is in fact a guy issue. Guys, maybe even some of you girls. What do you think about boob size? I've joked about it before, small, large, fake, real, but really, I want to know inside your head, and I swear to God, if someone says personality, I'm going to punch you in the junk, because that's not in this equation. It's that time again. Your Monday douchebag of the day is female co-star of the X-Files movie, Gillian Anderson. During an interview, Gillian Anderson said that her movie flopped because of Batman. Literally just goes boom. The reason my movie flopped is because another movie was out at the same time, which you could think so, or you could realize that it's because X-Files is 10 years too late and was also a terrible movie. Gillian went on to explain with her massive intellect that people in the States are so used to a lot of CGI and action and sex, and we really don't have a lot of that in this film. And she probably should have added, interesting plot. We didn't really have that either. I mean, granted, saying that your movie sucked, probably not a good career move, but would be honest. I was reading an article where they said that, elephants never forget, but we might forget the elephant because they might be extinct in the wild by 2020. Also, you guys know that I don't like to pimp out a channel unless I really like it, and I found a new one that has me cracking up, which is youtube.com/itsbrent. Links over here in the description after this video. Go check it out. Go subscribe. You're going to love this dude. He's hilarious. He also thinks that I'm mentioning him in this video because of a deal we made during a little competition. What he doesn't know is that I was going to pimp him out this week anyway. And now he's going to be really pissed at me. So hopefully you guys subscribing to him will ease the pain. Also, the last thing I wanted to mention, I am very excited that I'm going to get to meet a bunch of you the night of the 8th and the afternoon of the 9th in Toronto. There's a bunch of information about where the meets will be and what it is. I'm going to include links over here in the sidebar if you want to meet myself and a bunch of other tubers. Preferably a bunch of other tubers because I'm a little shy in person. I am. But that's all that really mattered to me this Monday, August 4th, 2008. My name's Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in.
Sexy Phil, he's not sexy, sexy Phil, he's as sexy. Yeah! Good job! Yeah, he's definitely not sexy. Good job!